Hasan Minhaj is a wildly successful American comedian, writer, and producer. Minhaj rose to prominence when he worked as a senior correspondent on The Daily Show and has since become a familiar face on Netflix due to his stand-up comedy film Homecoming King and talk show Patriot Act, which sadly got cancelled recently, and we are sure you are just as sad about the news as we are. So to mourn the loss together, we will look at 20 things you didn't know about Hasan Minhaj. It's only fitting that Minhaj specializes in political charged comedy because he graduated from the University of California, Davis with a degree in political science and didn't discover his passion for comedy until he was in college. Yes, Minhaj is a cool Muslim dude and he is not afraid of talking about his faith, even when it gets him into trouble. He opened up to Today about the role his faith has played in his life during the COVID pandemic, saying, "Right now, Muslims around the world are celebrating Ramadan, a holy month of fasting where individuals abstain from food and water from sunrise to sunset. But Ramadan is so much more than just daytime dietary restrictions. For me, it's a time for family, personal reflection, charity, gratitude, and learning to control one's lower self." In 2017, Minhaj hosted the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and in an interview with People, he said, "I'm the son of immigrants, and I was standing on this stage making fun of the president. It's a really beautiful, amazing tradition, and it's something worth fighting for. I'll never forget that night." In 2014, Minhaj found the perfect marriage of his passions for political science and comedy with a gig on The Daily Show, where he served as a senior political correspondent who regularly skewered Trump administration policies and decisions. He even got some great advice from ex-host Jon Stewart, who reportedly told him to move toward your discomfort and talk about things that people aren't willing to talk about and do the show you feel needs to be done. Well, we can't agree more. Minhaj was inspired to try his hand at comedy after watching Chris Rock's special Never Scared. That kicked off his experiments in local comedy, which led to winning comedy competitions, booking minor TV gigs, The Daily Show role, and now his hosting duties. Other influences in his life include Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Trevor Noah, Jon Stewart, and Stephen Colbert. He might be mostly famous for his comedic hosting abilities, but Minhaj has a few famous acting credits to his name. After making a few small appearances in Arrested Development and HBO's Getting On, Minhaj moved over to the big screen, appearing in movies like Rough Night, Most Likely to Murder, and The Spy Who Dumped Me. Sorry ladies, in 2015, Minhaj married his college sweetheart Bina Patel after years of dating. And guess what? She is a smarty pants too. Bina studied neurology, physiology and behavior after completing high school. She earned her bachelor's degree in 2007 and a year later she earned her master's in public health from the University of California, Davis. Bina later went back to the same institution to pursue a doctorate and was even awarded the Ruth Romeo Award during her graduation in 2013. The power couple also have two beautiful kids, a girl and a boy. Before they got married, Bina and Hasan stayed true to religious tradition regarding cohabitation rules before marriage. Hasan told the New York Times, "Bina and I didn't move in together until we got married. We kept it very traditional, so I had to evolve very quickly. I went from scar face photos to family photos. I'd never had throw pillows in my life, but I've become accustomed to them, and I will say that scented candles are really nice." Okay, we know we have included a lot of interesting facts about the couple, but here's one last one. While dating, Bina and Hasan knew for a while that their different religions would come in the way of a potential marriage, but they persisted with their relationship nonetheless. The problem lay in the fact that Hasan was a Muslim while Bina was a Hindu. Muslim law prohibited Hasan from marrying Bina, and at the time the most viable option was for Bina to convert from Hindu to Muslim. However, the couple's love for each other prevailed and they were allowed to get married. Minhaj penned an open letter alongside academic Riza Aslan encouraging Muslims to support legalization of gay marriage as fellow members of minority communities in the US. He wrote, "Bottom line is this, standing up for marginalized communities even when you disagree with them is not just the right thing to do, it's the Muslim thing to do." Like all celebrities, Minhaj is no short of famous friends. And in an interview, Minhaj spoke about his work date with Anna Wintour herself. He said, "The day after the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Anna Wintour called and said, 'We would like for you to come to the Met Gala.' I got to sit at the Vogue table, so that was really cool. It was like being in Alice in Wonderland. You feel like you're in a dream." Minhaj comes from a Muslim family originally from Algar in Uttar Pradesh, India. His parents Najmeh and Seema migrated to Davis, California, where Minhaj was born and raised. After his birth, he and his father, a chemist, remained in the United States. His mother returned to India for 8 years to complete medical school, visiting the US after 3 years to give birth to his sister in 1989. Minhaj didn't even know he had a sister until he was 8 years old when his mother and sister returned permanently from India. In addition to English, he is also fluent in Hindi and Urdu. We all know Minhaj is awesome, but thankfully his awesomeness has been awarded over the years. Over the span of his still young career, Minhaj has won 2 Peabody Awards, 2 Webby Awards, and 2019's Time 100 Most Influential People Award. Minhaj's Netflix film Homecoming King was based on his real-life experiences as a first-generation Indian American and includes personal stories about his experiences of growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, including a disastrous experience with his white prom date who stood him up because, allegedly, her parents didn't think he would be a good fit in photos. Apparently, there weren't any stand-up clubs nearby Minhaj's residence in California, so he decided to take an alternate route, competing in the Mr. India California pageant with comedy as his talent, and won, making him perhaps the only major comedian to have won a beauty contest. Minhaj has admitted that he has one vice: sneakers. Yes, our comedian is a big sneakerholic, and in an interview he said, "One of the most fun pieces I did at The Daily Show was interviewing DJ Khaled at his sneaker closet in Miami. I can't believe I convinced Trevor Noah to let me do it. It had nothing to do with politics, but that is definitely one of the highlights of my tenure at The Daily Show." Not only does Minhaj like sneakers, but he is also a big Harry Potter fanatic. The comedian, who frequently references J.K. Rowling's fantasy in his comedy, said, "There are a lot of parallels between politics and the Harry Potter narrative." For the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio honored Minhaj with Hasan Minhaj Day on behalf of the work he'd been doing. Minhaj said, "We had this big event at Gracie Mansion and it was really cool, but it started at 7 p.m. so I only had 5 hours of Hasan Minhaj Day. It should have been at 8 a.m. and then I could have made my proclamations." Yes, Minhaj is so cool that he hosted a documentary, Stand Up Planet, which was sponsored by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, where Minhaj went on a quest to find the best comedians from the developing world like South Africa and India. The show harnessed the universal power of comedy to change the conversation around global poverty. For years, people have thought that Hasan and Nikki were cousins. Well, Hollywood Heat can finally confirm that this is simply not true. They might share similar pronounced surnames, but that's pretty much where it ends. And there you have it, 20 things you didn't know about Hasan Minhaj. But if you know more fascinating things about him, you're welcome to drop us a comment. We would love to hear from you. If you watched the video until here, we are sure you liked it. Please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Click the videos flashing on your screen for more fun.